it's been a tough. Well, it has been tough on the supporters because they expect great results up in Sydney. And you mentioned the supporters, and we're very lucky to be joined tonight by one of Sydney's most prominent supporters, a very well-known Swanee around Australia. Please welcome him. He's in the Bradman Bar right now, joining us live from the SCG, the 29th Prime Minister of Australia. Please make him welcome, Mr. Malcolm Turnbull, everybody.
So nice to be here.
Very nice to have you with us, Mr. Turnbull, and welcome, cordially and formally welcome to the front bar.
Cordially, wonderful. So nice to be here on the front bar. Now, I've done my research and I know the front bar is part of a public house where people sit around and drink your yeast-based beverages and exchange yarns and slap the electronic pokey machine. Sounds like fabulous fun. Now, I'd like to declare my bona fides. I have tried beer once. I was at the footy in my box and my chief of staff thought it would be appealing to the snivelling masses if I held a beer. I'd never tried it before. I only ever drink Sangiovese or Petit Chablis. So I had a sip and it was very refreshing and I said, "What's this called?" And he said, "It's called beer." And he told me it was widely available. Amazing. But I don't think it's the drink for me, Andrew, because after just one, I wanted to pull down my pants and flash what the average Joe, I believe, calls a brown eye. Is that correct? A brown eye.
Yes, brown eye, that's right. So, Mr. Turnbull, you're obviously a pretty staunch Sydney Swan supporter.
Well, Andrew, and please call me Malcolm.
Okay, thank you.
People think as Prime Minister you're forced into looking like you love the footy, so you appear to have the common touch with the hoi polloi, and then the riff-raff will vote for you. But I genuinely love it. Footy's terrific. I love the running and the kicking and the high catching. The catching is spectacular. Now, I know you commoners call it a specky. But I don't like abbreviating, I call it a spectacular. When I'm at the footy, I say, "Look at that chap in the jersey. He's just taken a spectacular over the other fellow. I think he might be in for catch of the year." Honestly, I think due to footy's popularity up here, Sydney could sustain a second side.
Hang on.
Finger on the pulse.
They've already got a second side. It's out in Western Sydney. It's called GWS, and they're at Homebush.
Homebush? Good Lord. I've heard of it, but I've never been there, and I never will.
Right. Now, Malcolm, what does a day at the footy like? Look for a former PM.
On match day, I wake early, check my $256 million personal fortune, and because you can't be too careful with online scammers, I move some money offshore to the Cayman Islands. Then to put me in a good mood, I either watch the Swannies' 2005 grand final victory over the Western Coastal Eagles, or I go back to election night on iView and watch Peter Dutton's incredible loss. What a night! What a night! And then the Greens leader, Adam Bant, copped it too. Now, I've got some advice for Greens voters, like you, Andrew Maher. Wash your Subaru Forester. We can tell by the no nuke sticker you're a Greens voter. Wash your car and wash yourself. Rubbing your genitals with a crystal isn't personal hygiene. Take me seriously on that one. I can smell a little patchouli coming across from over here. Anyway, back to my day at the footy. I have a pie in the back of my Bentley, not a mass-produced one, but a bespoke one, crafted from imported smoked halibut and caviar jelly, delicious. Washed down with some Dom Perignon, and for fun, I get my chauffeur to hang the Balenciaga scarf out of the Bentley. And people think it's to show my support, but it's actually to block my view of the faces of the average supporter. Oh, good Lord. The plebs are ugly, aren't they? Horrible.
Malcolm, let's talk footy. Who's your favourite Swan of all time?
Well, I'll answer this question earnestly by waving my glasses as if to say I read, but my eyesight is poor. My favourite players were, of course, Lance Buddy Franklin, Tony Lockett, the man they called the Plugger, and Warwick the Whiz Kappa, electric. But if I was honest with you, Sam, I'd say my favourite Swan is Swan Lake, which is a very moving and beautiful ballet. Tchaikovsky, he could have snapped one around the corner or been able to take a spectacular. He was a giant of a man, but not a Greater Western Sydney giant, Michael. Christ, the western suburbs. Driving home, squinting into the sun. How do people do it?
Now, the Swannies copped to hiding on the weekend. Is this season over for the
I hope
Swans?
so.
You'd hope so. You do.
Then I can focus on real sports like polo and kayaking. I love going out onto the harbour in my kayak. It's one of the few words you can say with your mouth open for the whole word, but you must click the second K off your soft palate. Kayak. Kayak. But really, like all Australians, I can't wait for our national summer sport, yachting. Oh, Sydney to Hobart. It gives you something to do on Boxing Day, considering there's no other sport on. Look, guys, I need to go. I think my duck liver pate is reaching room temperature.
Okay, well done. Malcolm, wonderful to catch
We're
up
going
with
to cross paths one day, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
would. Well, yeah, it'd be
yeah.
great for you to pop down and join us here at the front bar at some stage if you're ever here.
Well, swanning around down the top end of town.
Mari and Mick, I'm getting familiar now. Yeah, I've never actually been into a bar, so why don't I step into one now?
I'll do it.
Lovely.
Oh, he's here. Welcome. Mr. Prime Minister, welcome aboard.
Wow.
You look...
Don't look that comfortable, mate.
It's sticky. It's sticky and it smells like man. Smells like a hot man in here.
All right, Malcolm, now, I just have to ask, have you ever come across Lawrence Mooney in your travels? Do you
Lawrence
know?
Mooney, the impersonator.
Yes, Lawrence
I mean,
Mooney.
it's got to be the comedy version of scraping the bottom of the barrel, doesn't it? Impersonations. So tragic. Once you've got your mannerisms and the, accent all nailed, what if the person you're impersonating is no longer relevant? Oh, you just keep trotting it out, do you, at somebody else's behest? I mean,
That will
it's
never
tragic.
happen.
It's almost as tragic as getting a little version of yourself to dance around for the amusement of people. What is this, a freak show?
Yes, it is.
Is there a
Yes,
bearded
it
lady
is.
coming on next? Is there?
Malcolm, it's been a joy to have you on the show.
Good on you, Malcolm.
Well, thanks for being part of it tonight.
Well, thank you very much.
Malcolm,